So incursions are the biggest threat to the MCU multiverse, and while Kang is conquering the multiverse, incursions could literally mean the destruction of it all.
Incursion occurs when the boundary between two universes erodes and they collide, destroying one or both entirely.
So I combed through phase 4 on an investigation into incursions, and what I found will blow your mind. So let's go through what I found and explain the science of MCU incursions and how this could change everything we know about the MCU multiverse. So smash those like and subscribe buttons because we're about to get sweaty. So throughout my incursion investigation, there were 3 phase 4 projects that stood out and became key points of interest in this investigation. Those are What If, Multiverse of Madness, and Ms. Marvel. But let's start with Multiverse of Madness first, because these lines from Reed Richards are the launching point to my whole incursion investigation. This first one explains incursions.
Incursion occurs when the boundary between two universes erodes and they collide.
So cool, these lines establish that universes / timelines are all separated by boundaries so they do not collide and destroy each other. So basically, when those boundaries break, an incursion occurs. But what causes those boundaries to break?
Your arrival here confuses and destabilizes reality. The larger the footprint you leave behind, the greater the risk of an incursion.
With that being said, simply visiting another universe will not cause an incursion, but leaving a large enough footprint will. By footprints, I think Reed is referring to cosmic energy footprints. But pencil that thought for now because we're going to be coming right back around to it, because those 2 lines just give us a baseline understanding of incursions. But let's use this information to flesh this out and go deeper. When breaking down Reed's incursion lines, I just couldn't get past this one part.
An incursion occurs when the boundary between two universes erodes and they collide.
That line poses a question. If incursions only occur when the boundary erodes, then what is this boundary? For that answer, we have to bring in What If and Ms. Marvel. We'll start with What If, because as fun of a show as it is, it should not be slept on at all. Because it's these shots here that explain what the boundaries are made of, which is hard light. Yes, the same hard light that we see in Ms. Marvel. And I'm pretty confident that it is indeed hard light. Not just because of its looks, but based on what was said about hard light in Ms. Marvel.
Behind the veil of Noor that separates our world from yours.
Noor is the energy source of that realm. The veil, even your powers, are made of it.
So that is what we are seeing go down here in What If. Hard light keeping the universe and their cosmic energies separate, because hard light is the boundary. And when
the boundary between two universes erodes and they collide, destroying one or both entirely.
That leads us to the next step in this investigation. What causes the hard light boundary to break? Remember when I told you to pencil that thought earlier? Well, it's time to unpencil it. Because no, I do not believe just having a physical presence in a different universe would cause that boundary to erode. But if a person were to bring cosmic energy from their universe to another one, then yeah, that cosmic energy stream would cause the boundary to wear thin. But I know just hearing me say it might not add up, so let's get creative and simplify this. Here are 2 universes, and for this example, we'll just say that they're 838 and 616. Here you have 2 walls of hard light, and you have the void space between them that we've seen the Watcher hang out in. And it's important to keep in mind here for this theory, or at least to go along with it, that universes are cosmic energy currents that weave together to create reality. I have a whole entire video about this concept that you want to check out next. But in Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange traveled from the 616 to the 838. However, him just being there talking to the Illuminati does not trigger incursions, because the hard light is still keeping cosmic energy separate, and he's not really doing a lot to bring cosmic energy over into that universe. However, what happens when Wanda sends cosmic energy to that universe to dream, walk, and destroy the Illuminati? Well, that causes her to leave a larger footprint in that universe the more she fights, leading to the cosmic energy building up. And that goes on creating a tear in the boundary that separates both universes, leading their realities to be sucked into the void and collide. And to be real, this logic explains 838 Doctor Strange's dream walking, starting incursions, and why the 838 Illuminati would use the sands of Versanti to keep Steven and America Chavez from tapping into their cosmic energy. So boom, that's the science behind the incursions. You have a boundary of hard light separating universes, and when someone brings cosmic energy from one universe over to another, that causes that boundary to fade, leading to an incursion. But hey, now that we know the science of incursions, we now have to ask, how can they be stopped? But hey, now that we know the science behind them, how can incursions be stopped? Well, there are a couple of ways, but first I need you to hit that subscribe button and let's get back to it. Because we've seen one solution in What If, and another solution was hinted at in Multiverse of Madness. In Multiverse of Madness, Reed Richards says this.
And they collide, destroying one or both entirely.
And let's be real, the 838 is shady as hell and have clearly experienced at least one incursion and have lived to talk about it. So I believe that line was a clear hint that they destroyed another universe to keep theirs alive during an incursion. Then in What If, we saw Dark Doctor Strange actually use hard light to keep this incursion from spreading into another timeline. But both of those ways involves one universe being destroyed, and there has to be a way to stop incursions without destroying either universe. And the answer, I believe, is in Ms. Marvel and the Marvels. Look, slight spoiler warning, but rumor has it that an incursion will be in the Marvels and somehow they will stop it. But the leaks don't say how. But based on what we've been talking about here, the answer is obvious, right? It's hard light. Because I think the Marvels could actually be the perfect team to team up and do this. Because A, Ms. Marvel can produce the hard light. B, Captain Marvel could provide an energy boost. And then C, Photon could possibly be the one to spot the incursion point, using her powers to actually see cosmic energy, telling Ms. Marvel and Captain Marvel where to go to stop it. Which honestly, if this isn't what they're doing, I think it's what they should do, because the Marvels needs a lot of elevating, and I think in bringing in incursions really does that. But anyway, back to the point, I don't think doing that alone would be enough to stop incursions altogether, because I think as long as the multiverse is built the way it is, incursions will happen. And yo, this is where my mind got blown, because using that logic and referring to as long as the multiverse was built this way made me think, what if hard light separating universes isn't like a natural thing in the cosmos? What if someone like the Council of Kings or even Celestials built these boundaries using hard light so that the multiverses could survive without incursions? Look, I'm gonna have to flesh that one out before I dive deeper into that theory, but hey, I think it'll be dope to see the science of incursions revealed in the MCU as we move forward through phase 5 and 6 and beyond. But let me know what you think in the comment section below about incursions and how you think they are occurring. Also, go check out the video where I talked about cosmic currents and dimensions and how that all ties together to make timelines. Yo, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.